Welcome back. So let's come back to this SpiceJet website and continue our validations so that we can do end-to-end testing on this page. Okay, so with the topics what we have learned till now. So one thing please remember here, tomorrow this site may not look like this. Okay, so basically for every few months people will update their site based upon their feedback from the customers or based upon the latest trending whatever available on that particular moment. So when you see this site is changed, do not think that our videos are outdated. Concept remains still same. Okay, you know how to handle radio buttons, you know how to handle this dynamic drop down selection, and you know how to handle the select drop down. Okay, so in this lecture we will see the check boxes. In the next lecture we will see how to handle calendars. So wherever you go, concepts will still remain same. So when you start working in real time, you will be not given the SpiceJet website to test, right? So learn the concept, grab the concept here. If you have this working site, then you can write your code and check. If you don't see the application like this when you are watching this video, then pick any other website and practice. Okay, but the concept what you gained is most important here, and you can apply it in any website. So however, we are having assignments after every few lectures. Okay, you will be getting assignment screen. You go and solve it. Okay, if you are able to solve it, then that's it. You are in good shape with the concepts what you learned till now. Okay, please remember that. So it's not in our hands that to control these site changes. I can take one dummy site and explain all the concepts there, but problem is I just want to give you the confidence that you are working on real time and live websites which are present out there. Okay, I can show and create one dummy website and explain the things there. I'll do that, but for some topics. But if I do like this on real-time websites, even you will have some confidence that we are doing something really worth. Okay, please remember that. Right, so now in this lecture, let's see how can we handle this checkboxes. It's pretty straightforward. So you can go and just click on this. You can simply inspect. Okay, let's do that. Right click, inspect, and that will open the developer tools for you. All right, yeah, so you see that ID is defined friends and family. Okay, and for senior citizen document discount is also present. Okay, so now you have ID locator, you can use that, or you have name attribute as well. You can use even this to select this checkbox. Okay, so first I'll write one step to select this checkbox. Okay, let's use this updated drop down class which we have done earlier. Okay, I'll expand this class and complete end-to-end testing in the SpiceJet website. Okay, so give me a second. So this code belongs to drop down, right? So let it be there. I'll write after we hit URL in the browser. Let's quickly handle the checkbox. So driver dot find element by dot. Okay, so let me take name attribute this time. So by dot, or you can take CSS as well, it's up to you, but name sounds a unique, right? Okay, so you see that you have something called CT100 main content $CHK underscore. This name attribute or ID attribute is very big. If you want to write a targeted attribute, you can exclude all this by putting regular expression and use only this. Okay, let's use CSS selector and use only this piece, and I'll put regular expression here. Okay. Right, CSS selector. Remember the syntax of CSS: tag name, and tag name is not mandatory, you can still skip it, but let's give here input. Oh my god. Attribute equals to value. For XPath you will get @attribute, but for CSS directly you can use attribute. Attribute here is ID equals to value. So value, I am going to take only the senior citizen discount, which is not correct, but I will put star so that it will identify the any ID which matching with this senior citizen discount. And obviously I think this is the only one we have. Okay. And this is how you can use regular expression and keep your attributes very simple with clear description. If you have something like this main content chk ctl100, okay, you can put it straight to the point and say dot click. Right. So after you click on that, if you want to know whether that checkbox is selected or not, there is a method in Selenium to tell if it is selected. Okay. Again, same checkbox. Now instead of clicking dot, I will select a method which will know if checkbox is selected or not. Can you find it from here? Read out every method showing in this suggestions and try to find a method which will help us to see if the checkbox is selected or not. You see that? Is selected. Okay. So you can use this, and this will help you to know if the checkbox is selected or not. But how? If it returns true, that means checkbox is selected. If it returns false, then that means checkbox is not selected. So that you have to know here. So I'll print it in output system.out.println. So in the console you can see after you select, it should return true. So I'll put it before clicking on that checkbox itself. So first it should return false, and then it clicks on it, and then it will return true. Alright. And also I want to print the number of checkboxes present in this page. How do you do that? Okay, this is interesting. If I ask to present the number of checkboxes, how can you get that? So go and inspect on any checkbox. So basically you have to find out a locator which is common to all the checkboxes. Okay. Let me write here, count the number of checkboxes, code. So trick here is to get all the checkboxes, right? So get the locator which will select all the checkboxes on the screen. Let's do that first. You can use Crowpath or console here, it's up to you. You see that for this checkbox, type equals to checkbox, right? Select any other checkbox. Still type equals to checkbox. And this one, type equals to checkbox. So what I will do, I'll write one CSS tag name type equals to checkbox, right? So this is the CSS which is applicable to all these checkboxes, isn't it? Because all have same type attribute. So if I hit enter, then I found 6 matching nodes. Okay, so that means you can simply say that there are 6 checkboxes in the page. So you have simply written a locator which is common to all the checkboxes, and you will get the size of that using Selenium script. That size is nothing but count of checkboxes present in the page. Okay, so if tomorrow they add 2 more checkboxes, obviously type will be checkbox, because that's how this website have the consistent code. So, and then when you give the CSS, however, 2 more checkboxes are added with type equal to checkbox, and this CSS is also applicable to those two. And when you hit now enter, you will get 8 matching nodes found. So that means 8 checkboxes are present in the page. So that's the logic. If someone asks you to get the count, this is how you have to approach. So your first approach is to find out the common locator for all the elements which you want to get the count. Okay, and once you give that common locator, make sure that everything is selected like this, all the checkboxes. So after that, it's very easy from Selenium now to get the count once you have the common locator. Driver dot find element, find elements, plural this time, because you are trying to grab all those elements, right? I have clearly told of usage of this when we are talking about drop down concept. So basically I am asking to find all the elements with this CSS selector. So Selenium will bring all the 6 elements when you give this step. But when you provide only find element singular, so Selenium will get the first result whatever it found in the application for the CSS. You know that Selenium scans from top left, right? When it comes like this, it will find the first checkbox and it will return only that when you use find element. But when you put find elements, it will scan all the elements in your page using this attribute, and it will get all that. Once you have all those in your hand, simply say dot and size. This will give the size of that find elements, nothing but count of checkboxes which we need from our application. That's it. That's how you can do that. To print it in the output, system.out.println. Okay, so let me run this test. First it should select checkbox false, then it clicks on it and it will return true, and it will give all the checkboxes count in the page, and then it will go with this drop down functionality which we already did in our previous lecture. Alright, so let me run this test. So this is how you can see if the checkboxes are selected or not, or how many are present in the application. Very basic methods which will help us to do that. Okay, so it selected the checkbox. You can see that senior citizen got selected, and now test is done. Alright, so let's go back. First, false, it's not selected. Thereafter, it's selected, true. And what is the count? 6. Awesome. That's it. So we have successfully written a code to handle these two scenarios. Okay, so in the next lecture, instead of printing it in the output, if we see some weird result, let's fail the test case by using assertions. Okay, so till now we are seeing all this in our output, right? Now let's put assertions and fail the test if we don't see this proper output. Okay, see you in the next lecture. Thank you.